Greetings, one and all, and welcome back to another session of Divine Discussions Podcast with your host, Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael, High Priestess and Spiritual Leader of the Soul Awakening Sanctuary. And so we welcome you to come on in. Welcome. Come on in the room, like, comment, and share. Let somebody know that we are live and we are here for another empowering session today. As you come in, we ask that you would share the live. Greetings, everybody. Welcome. I know it's been a little bit since I've been live, so we are here today. I know it has been a little while since we have did a live. So we are here today. We're going to have a wonderful time together. We have an awesome topic today, leaving mental slavery, reprogramming our mind for success. So as you come in the room, please like, comment, and share. Share this live. We want as many people as possible to hear this wisdom, to hear this teaching today in this discussion on leaving mental slavery and reprogramming our mind for success. So again, welcome to Divine Discussions with your host, Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael, High Priestess and Spiritual Leader of the Soul Awakening Sanctuary. And welcome to this live edition of our podcast where we aim to foster healing, wellness, and holistic spiritual practices that can help those who are decolonizing and deconstructing from religion and harmful theology. Our mission is simple, is to expand the consciousness of the masses, and we do that through teaching universal laws and principles of truth, not tied to any specific religion, doctrine, or dogma. And so we're here opening eyes, and showing people that spirituality is wonderful. Finding who you are is wonderful. Educating yourself is key to finding yourself. Educating yourself on who you are. Man, know thyself. That's all inclusive. Man, woman, boy, child, human, know thyself. And so in order to know ourselves, we have to deprogram. Because one of the things that mental slavery is something that, slavery is just not something that happened thousands of years ago. It's something that's a conditioning that's happening right now. Greetings, Ethan. Welcome, beloved. Greetings, everyone that's coming in. Thank you for joining us. Please share the live. Share. Greetings, Sister Tawanda. So good to see you. Everybody, welcome. Please share the live as you come in. So it's so powerful to understand who you are. Slavery is not just something that happened years ago, but it's happening right now. Mental conditioning. So that's what we're talking about, leaving mental slavery, reprogramming our mind for success. Greetings, Bishop Paris LaBelle. Wonderful greetings, beloved. So that's what we're doing, reprogramming our minds for success, because our mind have been programmed. We've been programmed to everything but success. We've been programmed to hate ourselves. We've been programmed to look down upon ourselves. We've been programmed to try to be everybody but us. So it's time now to deprogram, leave the mental conditioning, and open up your mind and heart that you can be successful. It's something that you have to do. See, deprogramming and reprogramming your mind, it takes work. It doesn't happen overnight. But by consistently applying principles and doing the work, you can achieve your success. You can achieve in reprogramming your mind for success. So mental slavery is just not a historical concept. It's a modern day condition. We're dealing with that right now. It's when we allow limiting beliefs, fears, negative conditioning to keep us from elevating and achieving our full potential. See, we're just not products of our environment. That's something to know. We're just not products of our environment. But we can put in the work to rise above whatever circumstances. If we change our mindset, we can rise above whatever circumstances we may have been raised with, whatever circumstances that we might have been born into. You can overcome that by shifting your mindset. It's all in the mind and how you think. By your thinking and the words that you speak, by your words are you condemned, and by your words are you justified. Liberation happens when you decide that I am ready to be free. I am ready to be liberated. I am ready to let go of the limiting mindsets and all the old limiting beliefs that have held me captive. Greetings, Apostle Tyreek White. Greetings, beloved. Hope you're well. So that's what we're talking about. We're going to help you today break the chains, break the fetters, the chains that hold us back, the mental chains that's on our mind. Today we're going to talk about things that are going to help us reprogram our thinking and embrace the freedom to succeed in life, in every area of our life. We can succeed in every area, just not spiritually. Because a lot of people talk about succeeding spiritually, but honey, you need to succeed financially, succeed in your career, succeed in everything that you are called to accomplish. Remember, when you came into this world, this is something that we got to know. When you came through the birth canal and came into the world, you came already with a destiny. Your plan of your life was already encoded in your DNA within you, and you've already been placed in earth with a purpose. So it's our job to discover what that purpose is. Discover what that purpose is and begin to study. That's what Know Thyself is all about. To study your history. Study about your ancestors. Study about those people that are gone. I don't know why people get so lost on the topic of ancestors. They get all freaked out when you use the word ancestors. Ancestors only mean those who came before you. Only means those people that have laid the groundwork for you. Your grandmother, your mother, your great-grandmother. Because you are your ancestors and your ancestors are you. Because you're 33 part. Your mother, 33 part. Your father, 33 part. Yourself. And in that part of you, that's your mother, you have your maternal grandmother, grandfather, great, all of them. That lineage. And then the part of you that's your father, you have his mother, his father, their grandparents, all of that. And all of that is running through your veins and your bloodline. But see, we've been taught to believe that our existence only starts at slavery. Especially the people of color. We've been taught to believe that our history, see, that's the thing, history, his story, that's somebody else's story about our records of the past. So we got to break down words. See, when you decolonizing, deconstructing, deprogramming, all of these words that go together for what we're talking about, this work, we have to be willing to get in the trenches. We've been taught to believe everybody but ourselves. Think about that. We've been taught to believe everybody but ourselves. Don't believe me? As I talk, I want you to remember your childhood. Remember your childhood. You were taught to respect your elders. We were taught to respect the policeman. We were taught to respect the preacher, taught to respect everybody. But think about this. Who taught us to respect ourselves, to respect our own opinions, to honor our bodies? A lot of times we were taught to keep pushing, push. Push when you're tired, push when you don't feel well, push when you just keep going. But sometimes by doing that, we dishonored our body. We became disaligned because sometimes our body is telling us, you need to rest. You need to slow down. You need to take a break. But because we live in a society that's just go, drive, we ignore the signs that our intuition gives us. I want you to think about this. Have you ever had a gut feeling about something and you ignored that gut feeling and the same thing that you had the gut feeling about happened? And if you would have followed that feeling that you had in your gut, you could have diverted, you could have avoided a situation, calamity. And that's because we've been taught to trust everybody but ourselves, to trust our own spirit, to trust the divine within us. So that's a part of deprogramming. Learning how to trust your own intuition. Learning how to trust the spirit of the divine in you. So today, the goal for our session together is to define mental slavery and its impact on our lives, to identify common limiting beliefs and mental blocks. There are certain limiting beliefs that we hold true, that we don't even question, that we have not even second guessed, that is holding us back from succeeding in every area of our life. And then we want to explore proven techniques for reprogramming our mind for success. So let's begin with this question. What is one belief? And I want you to think about this. What is one belief or fear that you have within yourself that you feel has held you back? And I want you to think about that. And if you want to share it in the comments section, share it in the comments section. One fear or belief that you feel have held you back. And I want you to share it in the comments section if you feel comfortable, because this is a safe and a sacred space for all to come and learn and to engage and to be enlightened. So let's deal with understanding mental slavery. What is mental slavery? Mental slavery occurs when we accept limiting beliefs, fear, or societal conditions as our reality. These beliefs stem from our upbringing, our culture, or trauma. Because when trauma happens to us, especially as children, it stays with us until we come to the point where we're able to face that trauma and begin to work on that, to release those things from our life. So we have to be able to release the oppressive ideas that we have gotten from other people. This limiting idea that, my mother and father didn't go to college, they weren't rich, so obviously I didn't come from a rich family, so I can't succeed in life. That is a limiting belief. To believe that, everybody in my neighborhood, they didn't do it, so obviously I can't do it. That's a limiting belief. The belief that, I'm too old. I'm too old to change. I'm too old to start a new career. I'm too old to start a new business. I'm too old to start learning new things. That's a limiting belief. Because as long as you have breath in your body, you have a purpose. So we got to get off this stool of do nothing. We got to get off of this idea that, of self-pity. We got to get off this idea of poverty, a impoverished mindset, so that we can begin to soar. So many entities over the years, over centuries, have sought to control our mind, not just our bodies. And religion has been one of the greatest tools that has been used to control our mind, not just our bodies. And so we have to put in the work to unravel the things that have caused chains to be on our mind. Religion has taught us to hate one another just because somebody's religious belief differs from you. But when you begin to understand that I am you and you are me, and the interconnectedness of all things, it doesn't matter what spirituality you practice. It doesn't matter what spiritual tradition that you practice. We are all the same. We are one. And this came in my spirit, in my mind earlier. Greetings, Apostle Bass. I thought about we as a people, especially people of color, going into this new Gregorian calendar of 2025. It would be nice, and it would be a wise and advantageous pursuit if we as a people would learn not to allow religion to separate us, not to allow our various differing beliefs to separate us, because we are one people. And by allowing religion and schisms and doctrines and dogma to cause us to forget, because see, that's the part of mind control, to divide and conquer, to cause us to be at war with one another, where we can't focus and we can't be unified. We can't build relationships. Why? Because we have been taught that if you don't believe it like I believe it, then you damned. If you don't believe it like I believe it, you damned. But the divine is within you. And that's the key thing. We all emerged from life itself. And we have within us all it takes to be great if we learn to unify. The thing is, can we learn to love one another for real? Let's think about that. See, mental slavery have us where we don't even want to love one another for real. We're not there for each other for real. You know, we don't know how to support one another for real. Not because, I'm going to do it because, later on I may need a favor. Nah, my father used to teach me, a blessed memory. He used to teach, it's nice to be nice. When we used to ride down the road, or even when we would be, my father had a landscaping business, when he would be doing yard work or whatever, he would wave at everybody. Speak to everyone. And I say, you know these people? He said, half of them, no, I don't know. I said, but why are you even speaking to them and waving your hands and waving at the cars that pass by? I'm like, what's up with this? He said, my child, it's nice to be nice. You don't do the right thing for a reward. You don't support people because you have in your mind, well, later on, I'm going to want support. You support people because it's genuine. It's in your heart to do good. It's in your heart to love people. It's in your heart to be kind to people. It's in your heart. Not you do things so that you can control people in circumstances and in situations. Because, a lot of people, that's why they do certain things that are good. The action is good, but the motive is wrong. Let's talk about that. The action is good, but the motive is wrong. And a lot of times we find ourselves in mental slavery because someone did something nice, but we thought it was out of the kindness of their heart, but come to find out, it was a device to control us. Let's think about that. One of the things that stop us from really succeeding in life. I'm glad this is helping you, Ethan and Jessica. I'm glad this is blessing you. One of the things that stop us from succeeding is that, yes, chattel enslavement may be over, but the mental damage and trauma, the chains, the control that has been worked on our psyche is still going on. And I was thinking earlier today as I was meditating, just thinking, getting myself together, pulling my mind together to come live because, I don't know lately. So I was thinking, there is a war on our mind. There's a war on our consciousness. And if we don't wake up, we're going to lose the war. We are being programmed by the media, trying to tell us what to think. Religion religion teaching what to think, the media teaching what to think, in the school teaching you what to think. Instead of teaching people how to think, people are teaching people what to think. There's a difference. Mind control is trying to keep you from using your critical thinking skills. And your critical thinking skills is what's going to help you as you're deprogramming, decolonizing, deconstructing. Greetings, Mike L. Greetings, beloved. So good to see you. So it's important to use your critical thinking skills. One thing that has been said about people of African descent, Moors, people of color, whatever tag you want to fall under. It has been said, if you want to keep something from black folks, put it in a book. Now that's a negative portrayal of my people, of our people. That's what other people say about us. But I want to ask the question, do we make it true by our actions? A lot of times people don't want to read nothing but the Bible. You can go in the neighborhood and knock on every other door, and they may not have no book in their house, but they got the Bible. And I want to cause us, through my purpose, through my teaching, through my videos, through my talks, is always to cause us to think. You may not agree with where I stand on issues. You may not agree on my philosophy, my science of teaching. You may not agree, and that's fine, because we all have free will and we have our own mind and our own thinking, our own thoughts. But my whole purpose is to provoke us to think outside of the box, to think and know that there is other ways of viewing things. We got to get out of this box of thinking that we know everything. We got to get out of this box of thinking that there's nothing else to learn or nothing else to know. Because once you reach the stage of quote-unquote perfection, once you become a master, you begin to master everything. But a lot of times we haven't even mastered self-control. Let's talk about that. We haven't even mastered self-control yet. We haven't mastered ourselves. You have people that are trying to master other people. You have master manipulators. Greetings, Rob. Thank you. We have master manipulators. People that are running con jobs on people. That's right. Love our faces. So you have people that are running con jobs. Preachers. Teaching everything but truth. Running con jobs. Taking money out of the mouths of children. Taking money out of people who are struggling. And promising them hopes of a great beyond. Or promising them whatever they've given promises, selling wolf tickets. But are not teaching them about themselves. Now I have this. Now, if you are not a person of African descent and you're on this live, you can stay, you can ear hustle. But I have something to say to people of color. I have something to say. I want y'all to share this live. Everybody that coming in, please tap the share button. Those that are on Facebook, those that are on TikTok, tap the share button. Please share with as many people as possible, because we want this wisdom to get across to as many people as possible. As many Moors, people of color, African descent, whatever tag name you know him, you go by. But I want you to think about this. I thought about this earlier, just thinking. I said, now, when it comes to the black church, you have a black church, black preacher, black people. But what's being preached is not a black theology. What's being taught, they're not being taught about their heritage. They're not being taught about themselves. They're being taught something else other than about themselves. That's it. They have black, that's right. You have leaders that are actually selling out their own people. They're doing that. And they've been doing it time immemorial. You have people that are calling themselves our leaders, but they're selling us out. They're talking a good game, but in closed doors and in rooms, they're making wheeling and dealings that's going to hurt us and damage us. And so we have to come to the place where we say, wait a minute, we're not going to take this no more. We're not going to take this no more. It ends now. So we have to learn to educate ourselves. That's a part of how we begin to move out of mental slavery, is educating ourselves. We have to learn to empty out our mind. Greetings, Bishop Ellison. We have to learn to empty out our minds, empty out our spirit, empty out even our soul of all of the dogma and doctrines and things that we've been taught to believe that are holding us back. Blessings, Apostle Williams. So we have to learn, educate ourselves. A lot of times we've been given a book called the Bible, but we don't have the keys to unlock it. We don't have the keys to understand it. Many of these preachers have not been educated at all. They are fundamentalists, literalists. And that has been one of the demise of our people. That they preach a gospel of being a lowly and humble and all of this kind of stuff, but they living high on the hog off of the backs of people who can barely survive. So the question is, when are we going to wake up? When are we going to let go? Greetings, niece. Yema, greetings, beloved. So, letting go of mental slavery. People have thought to control our minds, not just our bodies. But just because child enslavement is over, now we have to learn how to take our mind, our soul, and our spirit back and educate ourselves. We have to stop waiting for someone else to come and educate you. Your oppressor is not going to come and teach you the truth. Your oppressor is not going to teach you what you need to know that you might be empowered. The job of your oppressor is to do something that oppress you and keep you under their thumb and keep you subjected. And many people that call themselves leaders, they're no different. Some of these ones that call themselves black leaders are no different than back in child enslavement time, when you had the one that was in the fields, a black person looking over other black people, making sure they follow the quote-unquote master's will. So let's think about it. Some of these preachers are only puppets for the oppressor to continue to keep us in the dark and to keep us blind. And a lot of people don't like teaching like this, and other people that are teaching consciousness, because it's removing the blinders off of people's eyes. And so this is what we should be doing, is removing the blinders so that we can be empowered. So the oppressor is not going to empower you. You have to do the work to learn and do the studying and empower yourself. Just to think about this, about the idea of you had the slave master praying to quote-unquote his God, and you had the quote-unquote slave praying. They could not have been praying to the same deity. They could not have been praying, because one was praying for wealth and to keep his slave subject, and one was praying for deliverance from their circumstances. And it's only, if we don't get out of this mental slavery, it's only until we wake up and say that nobody's coming to save us, I got to save myself. I have to put in the work to save myself. Once we get that out in our minds and begin to work with that, we'll be a whole lot better off. We'll begin to move in the right direction. Because people are waiting for someone to come and rise up and be a deliverer, when you've been given the power to deliver yourself. Healer, heal thyself. You have to know the power of your ancestry, the power of your lineage, where you come from. So we have to let go of these modern forms of slavery. What are they? Modern forms of slavery are fear of failure, self-doubt, lack of self-worth. All these are limiting beliefs that keep us from succeeding in life. Greetings, Prophet Nelson. This is keeping us from prospering and succeeding in every area of our life. Because remember, the fear of failure, one of the things that keep us hidden and keep us bound, is that we don't understand that whatever you fear, you attract it to you. That's what the basis of the law of attraction. Whatever you give your attention to, that's where the power flows. And so once we begin to understand that we got to let go of the fear of failure, the fear of a loss of a love, the fear of poverty. Because when we hold on to those fear, it causes it to be attracted to you. I want to point something out. I was thinking about this whole topic of fear. And that's right, faith over fear. I was thinking about the whole thing about fear. And I thought about the biblical character Job, the story of Job. Now, anybody that know me, I do not teach the Bible in a literal form. If you look on my page, under my bio, it says metaphysical, esoteric, spiritual teacher. Meaning we take the Bible, we decode it, and we show you how to use it as a tool of empowerment, not a tool of oppression. So we don't teach about people that live way, way, way back somewhere. But it's metaphysical. It's a tool of faith that you can use to empower yourself by principles. So I looked at Job in the Bible. And you know, I've heard many sermons from people over the years growing up about this character Job and about the richest man, righteous man, and all of that good stuff. But calamity still came to his house. Trouble still came to his house. I don't care how righteous you are, it doesn't exempt you from life happening to you and coming to your door. You know, you have people that are self-righteous and think, oh honey, it couldn't happen to me. Sit back and watch. Oh, that couldn't happen to me, honey. Never. That wouldn't be me. Sit back and watch. And watch how the universe turn things around and it will be you. We got to be careful what comes out of our mouth. Because power of our words, especially melanated people, melanated people, our frequency, when we speak, it's on a different frequency. And there's power. And it goes out and it don't return void when you speak. So we got to learn the power of our words. Learn the power that you possess as a melanated person. See, the oppressor don't want you to know your power. Want you to be confused, think you cursed, think you know, because they. Let's get back to Job. I don't want to get off here. So, a lot of people preach about Job and how, God was just testing his faith and all. Let me tell you, the divine source, the all, the universal mind, does not have to take you through things to test you. We got to let go of that mentality. Oh, I'm battling with this, but it's just a test. God is testing me. The divine source don't have to test you. The divine source know everything. So we got to let go of that ideology. So many people think when you read the story of Job in the biblical accounts, that the reason these things happened to him is because God and the devil got together. Now that's a whole nother topic dealing with those things, but we're going to leave it as it is. But people think that's the reason why he was tested. But I want to point something out to you. When you look in the book of Job, this is what Job said out of his own mouth, according to the narrative. My worst fear has come upon me. Bam. Did y'all catch that? That's what caused Job's calamity. He said, my worst fear has come upon me. So what Job feared, he attracted that to him. He was wealthy. He had a large family. He had everything going for him. So the fear of lack, the fear of poverty, the fear of the loss of his wealth is what he feared. And guess what? He feared it, and that's what he attracted to himself. So that low vibrational thinking is what brought calamity to his door. That's right, Bishop. His own mindset brought it to him. The universe didn't bring, God didn't bring to, no, he feared that something like this would happen. And that's exactly what happened. So we got to be careful about what we fear. We have to be careful of the thoughts that we hold in our mind. And just for those who want to run reference, because I always say, don't believe nothing I say, look it up for yourself. It's Job chapter 3, verse 25 to 26. He said, my worst fears have come upon me. What I have dreaded has happened. And so when you dread something happening, because guess what? What you put your attention on, you give it intention and attention and your thoughts with intensity. It begins to shape and create the world. That's right. That dread is energy. Everything is energy. And so he feared it, and that's what he attracted. A lot of times we are attracting not what we want, we're attracting what we don't want. Why? Because we fear it. Because that's what we hold, that's the thought we hold in our consciousness. And so that's what comes. You ever used to hear your grandmother or your great-grandfather, them say, if you're going to pray, don't worry. If you're going to worry, don't pray. In other words, be careful of the words that you speak. And you can't have a contradicting thought with the positive thought. You have to replace the contradicting thought that you don't want to happen with the positive thought that you want to see happen. That's how you attract abundance. That's how you attract love. That's how you attract everything that you want and desire in your life, is by keeping that in your consciousness, by keeping that thought and speaking words that's congruent in agreement with what you want to see happen. You don't need no miracle. You can create them. You are a miracle walking around. You are a creator. You can create a quote-unquote miracle. Why? How? Through speaking. Using your voice, your vocal cords, using your words. And your feeling and emotions behind your words is what make it happen. Let me say this. A lot of times we're taught about prayer in any faith tradition. You're taught about prayer. But we're not taught the science of prayer. We're taught, prayer will fix it. All you got to do is pray. All you got to do is pray, 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 pray. But we're not taught the science of prayer. Because there's a science to it. Prayer is not begging a deity, begging God, begging the divine for anything. Greetings, nephew. So good to see you. Hope you're doing well. There's a science to prayer. And that's right. The church is not teaching. There's a science to it. Prayer is about conditioning your own self to receive what you desire. It's not about begging anybody for nothing. It's not about begging God for anything. It's not about begging the divine source, the universal mind, God by all names known. It's not about it. It's preparing your own self and conditioning yourself to receive. The universe is always willing to give us whatever we need and desire. As one verse in the scripture said, it is the divine source goodwill to give you the kingdom, to give you whatever you desire, whatever you need, whatever you want. But it's your job to ask. It's your job to make a decision what you want. A lot of times, we don't even know what we want. Let's talk about that. We're not even sure of what we want. We have not decided. Sometimes we are so indecisive. We're indecisive. And God or nobody else can give you what you haven't decided that you want. But once you make a decision in what you want, once you begin to make a conscious decision and you begin to bring your own self into alignment, that's the true meaning of prayer. You begin to bring your own self into alignment to receive. That's what's already yours. It's already yours. But once you decide, you got to bring yourself into alignment. Put yourself in the way of a blessing. You want a blessing, you got to put yourself in the way of a blessing. You have to speak and think thoughts, speak words that will create the circumstances for you to receive what you desire. And that's sometimes what's our problem. We're speaking something contrary to what we say we want. We're thinking thoughts that are negative, that are blocking our true desires from coming. Let's use this as an example. Say you're single. Now, I don't know if I got any single people on the live. But say you're single and you've gotten yourself together. You've worked on your own self. Greetings, Elder Rochelle. You've gotten yourself together. You've gotten yourself mentally together. You begin to work through your traumas. So let me tell you one thing. If you're single and you want love and you want to be in a loving relationship and you want to be married, first, I advise you to work on yourself. Work on your mental state. Work on your trauma. Because when you go into a relationship and you have not healed or even begin to heal from traumas that have happened from childhood on up, now you come to the marriage with all of that. And now that spouse, if they know how to, have to work with you through that. Have to work with you trying to get you to heal. So you don't start off on an even balance. But sometimes you may get with a spouse who don't know how to help you heal. They don't have an understanding how to help you work through that trauma. So my advice for single folks is to get in therapy. That's one thing in the black community we don't like to talk about. In the religious community, they don't like to talk about. Because then you just pray everything away. A prayer did keep the devil away. You know, all these kind of things. But honey, I don't care if you go to a deliverance ministry. I don't care if you go to a deliverance church. I don't care what God you call yourself serving. You need a therapist. Especially people of color, African descent, that are born here in America. Everybody should be in therapy. Because the traumas that have happened to other generations before us still run through our bloodline. And you still have to deal with that even up till now. On top of the trauma you experienced in your lifetime. So getting in therapy, working on your mental status, working on letting go, releasing all of those things, those hurts, those things, all of it. And then once you've healed yourself and begin to get yourself financially in a position. Because especially my sisters, never get in a situation where you are disempowered. Let me say that again to my sisters. Never get in a situation where you are disempowered. See, one of my job and mission is to break the patriarchal reign. To help break that patriarchal system. So put things in place to set yourself up for success. And so once you begin to do all of that, and you got your career, whatever it is, and you say, well, now I'm ready for love and marriage. Then you begin to do things. You begin to speak that. You begin to think thoughts. You begin to conduct yourself. Now, this is for male, woman, anybody, whatever, if you want to be married and you're single. You begin to do things. You begin to groom yourself properly. You begin to dress yourself properly. You know, I used to say this years ago growing up to my godmother as a child. And this has always been my mindset. I said, you want a husband? She said, yeah. I said, but you going out the house with a bonnet on? I wouldn't go to the mailbox and I'm not together. Because you don't know where the universe, the creator, source, is going to bring you your person. So you have to prepare yourself. You can't call yourself, you ready for marriage and love, but you're going to the store with pajamas on. Hello, somebody. So we have to begin to groom ourselves together, put ourselves together. If you don't know how to cook, this go for men, women, everybody. If you don't know how to cook, get a cookbook. Go to YouTube. Get on TikTok. Somewhere. Start learning how to cook. Because one person's not going to want to cook all the time. Somebody might, and fast food is killing our people. So we need to get our head around these type of things. Oh yes, when you haven't healed, you will attack the wrong thing. So we have to do these are the things we begin to do to put ourselves in the way of what we saying we want to attract. Oh, attract. Yes. You will attract. Because whatever you put out there is what you're going to get. So yes, you will attract the wrong type of person, the wrong type of partner. Because you don't put the wrong thing. You know, a lot of people, let me say this. A lot of people say, I keep attracting the wrong type of person. Every time I look, everybody I get with, they're the same type of person. Beloved, you are, whatever you're putting out, that's why you're attracting that person. So you got to stop. Put a hold. Wait a minute. Regroup. What am I sending out to the universe? What am I putting out? Because obviously I need to stop it because I don't want that. So I need to begin to retract my steps and begin to put out what I really want. Because let me tell you, when you begin to work on yourself, this goes for anybody, single, married, whatever. When you begin to work on yourself and begin to bring yourself into harmony with nature and the divine, your aura will begin to change. Your spirit, your light, your aura will begin to change. And certain people are not even going to be bothered with you. They're not even going to come near you. They're not going to even cross your path. And so we have to learn how to begin to change ourselves and our thinking. Greetings, beloved, the graveyard woman. Greetings, beloved. Thank you so much. And so this is how we begin to really begin to let go. Really begin to let go of those things that do no longer serve us. One thing about it, some things they have worked for other people, but everything that worked for somebody else is not for us. And we have to be okay with that. It may work for them, but if it's not for us, let it go. And begin to apply things that's going to help us get where we need to be. And so we have to get rid of the fear of failure, self-doubt. Stop doubting yourself. I was thinking about this earlier. We believe in everybody else. We support everybody else. But the question always comes in my spirit to ask, when are we going to believe in ourselves? When are you going to believe in you? When are you going to go hard for you like you go hard for everybody else? So I want to give you this tidbit. I want to give you this assignment. As we go through the rest of 2024, going calendar year, entering into 2025, make it your business that I am going to go hard for me like I've been going hard for everybody. I'm going to support my growth like I've supported everybody else's growth. I'm going to show up for me like I've shown up for everybody else. See, if you don't show up for yourself, you can't look for other people to show up for you. Because you, by your actions, you teach people how to treat you. Let me say that again. By your actions, you teach other people how to treat you. And so, if you're not looking out for yourself, taking care of yourself, doing the things that you need to do for your own betterment, you running here, there, everywhere, running ragged, as my mother used to say, for other people, they will begin to learn that behavior that, oh, she'll do anything. Just call her up. Oh, he'll do anything. Just call him up. Oh, they'll do anything. Just call them up. No matter what you got going on, they'll drop it. So call them. And so because you taught that behavior to them, now that's how they treat you. So you got to begin to set a standard for yourself. Set boundaries for yourself and keep them. Years ago, and when I say years ago, I do mean, years ago. I used to, if a preacher couldn't come in or canceled on them and they, had a schedule, they'd call me up, oh, can you speak in instead? Sure. Oh, we need somebody to run this meeting. Can you do it? Oh, sure. I would run all over the place. Me and my family running all over the place. Then I began to think about it. Now, wait a minute. Something ain't right about that. Every time you need me, I make myself available. It's not that I'm available all the time, but I make myself available because of my covenant relationships with people. When you have a true friendship and a covenant with people, you make yourself available. But when I begin to re-examine those relationships and it was not mutual, I had to make a decision. I'm running ragged, running around like a chicken with my head cut off, like the old folks say, trying to support everybody, but they do not support me. So you know what I learned to do? Oh, can you do? I'm so sorry. I won't be able to do that. Now that's how I started off. After a while, it began, no, I ain't gonna be able to do that. No, maybe another time. Should have got to me earlier. We have to be okay with telling people no. Because we have adopted this idea of being people pleasers to the point where you're unhappy. So you have to learn to stop pleasing other people and say no. So that when the right opportunity comes, you can say yes. Because sometimes we've said yes so many times and not said no. And when the right opportunity comes, we're overworked, overdone, wore out, that we cannot even step up to the plate to seize the opportunity, to seize the moment. For the opportunity has come our way to really soar. So we have to reevaluate our relationships. Now, I'm not talking about making posts and statuses that, I'm going to be, cutting people off. Honey, you ain't going to be cutting nobody off, because if you're going to cut them off, you don't make no status or post about it. You just do it. Honey, people that know me, honey, when I'm through with something or somebody, they don't hear from me ever again. Boop. I don't make no fuss. I just remove myself just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. And you have to learn to do that to protect your energy. Especially when you're a leader in whatever capacity, because we're all leaders, rather in a religious sense, spiritual sense, in commerce, rather in the marketplace, on your job, whatever, or in your home. We are all leaders. And we have to learn to preserve our energy. We have to learn to set priorities. And that's one thing. Sometimes our priorities is all out of order. So we have to learn to regroup, come back to the center ourselves, so we can really, really begin to reprogram our mind. So you got to let go of self-doubt. Stop doubting yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. My mother used to always tell me, she, rest in peace, peace be upon her. She used to always say, nobody is better than nobody. You are equal to anybody. And so when I begin to learn that and adopt that understanding, that wisdom, and begin to adopt that and apply it in my life, ain't nobody better than me. I'm not in competition with nobody. You stay in your lane, I stay in my lane. That's how you get things done. Stop doubting yourself. Stop believing that you can't do it. Stop believing that, everybody else, they can do it because of X, Y, Z, and you can't do it. Growing up, some of y'all, you may, there's some people that always do something. You may want to do it, but they always do it. And so, because they always do it, they do it so well, I want to do it, but I'm going to leave that alone. And growing up, these sisters, I won't be too specific because, some people follow me. They don't comment, they don't click the live, but there are people that follow me from way back and wherever. So they used to always sing, and I would be intimidated by that. I wanted to sing too. But it wasn't until I began to grasp in my mind that you can do what anybody else can do. You are no more less than anyone else. And when I begin to grasp that in my mind, that I have the power to do whatever I put my mind to, because I am a co-creator with the divine. I'm a co-creator with source. So I can create. I am a creator. So I begin to push myself. And because I began to understand that they were singing, and because they were always singing, that's how they perfected their gift. their talent. And so I began to do it. Then the next thing I know, everywhere I go, I was being asked to sing. But you got to believe in yourself. Self-doubt robs us so many times of our opportunities to succeed. Because when you hold thoughts of self-doubt, your whole attitude carries that. Your whole spirit people can look at that and pick that up. You have mass manipulators out there and people that prey on other people, not P-R-A-Y, P-R-E-Y. As a predator, they prey on people. And they can read body language. And they can read energy. And when they see that you doubt yourself, that you're fearful, that you don't really believe in yourself, they will use that as a tool of manipulation and control. So we must be very wise who we choose to allow in our inner circle. I'm going to say that again. We got to be wise and very choicey, very picky, very discerning on who we allow in our inner circle. A lot of times, that's why we don't succeed. It's because we're around the wrong type of people. People that have the wrong type of mindset. Their mindset is totally opposite of what we have. You know, a lot of times we want to go somewhere, but we're so jealous of other people who've already made it that we won't humble ourselves down so that we can get close to those people and learn. Pride a lot of times stops us. This is all a part of mental slavery. That keeps us disunified. That keeps us from being able to really learn. Because we walk around with the attitude that we know everything. That we are absolute. That we got the absolute truth. And can't nobody tell me nothing, honey. What I know King Street from God's mouth to my ears, I know everything. And that's what caused many people to fail. Because there's a verse of scripture in Proverbs that says, I believe it's in the book of Proverbs, it says, and the multitude of counsel, there is safety. So wisdom teaches us to be teachable, to remain in a posture to be teachable. When you run up on somebody that know more than you know, matter of fact, even if they don't know more than you know, it don't take nothing off you to listen, even if you already know, heard it before, because you may hear something different that time that can help you, push you into your destiny. So we got to be willing to let go of the lack of self-worth. Know that you are worthy of every good thing. That's one thing religion and the church have really robbed us of, is our self-respect and our self-worth. You know, people around here singing hymns talking about, I'm such a worm as I, or I'm unworthy. You know, I used to hear, old deacons pray, Lord, I'm unworthy. And I begin to think about that thing. What makes you think you're not worthy? What makes you think that the good that comes in your life, that you're not worthy of it? When you know you're royalty don't think that they don't deserve the best. Why? Because they're royalty, so they know they deserve the best. And we have to let go of that lack of self-worth. We have to know our identity, that we are worth every good thing that we desire. Every good thing that happens to you, you are worthy of it. This is how we reprogram our mind for success. Deprogramming our mind from the conditioning of mental slavery and reprogramming our mind for success. That I am worthy of every good thing that comes in my life. I'm worthy of the job. I'm worthy of the house. I'm worthy of the car. I'm worthy of the money. I'm worthy of the love. I'm worthy of the respect. I'm worthy of the honor. I'm worthy of the success. I am worthy. And you have to affirm that to yourself. I am worthy of every good thing that comes in my life. Religion has taught you that you're unworthy. But spirituality and truth teaches you that you are worthy. You were created worthy. You were not created a sinner. You were not created as a helpless being. But you were created as a divine being. You emerged from life itself. And when you begin to get that in your mind, in your spirit, in your heart, in your psyche, and you begin to pass that truth onto your subconscious mind, you will begin to see great things begin to take place in your life. Why? Because you're shifting your paradigm, shifting your mindset from lack, doubt, failure, and you begin to elevate yourself into higher realms of consciousness. See, it's not good enough just to talk a good game. It's not good enough to talk a good game. We have to put principles into action. That's the only way we're going to reprogram our mind for success. It's the only way we're going to move out of mental slavery if we begin to practice principles of truth using proven techniques to help us transition. You know, Bob Marley was inspired by Marcus Garvey when he said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. I'm going to say that again. Bob Marley was inspired by Marcus Garvey. Now, if you don't know, if you are a person of color, a black person, African of descent, or more, and you don't know who Marcus Garvey is, you need to Google and learn. But he said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Nobody can free your minds for you. Because as I said earlier, the oppressor's job is to keep you oppressed. So it's not, they're not going to teach you what you need to know to set yourself free. Their whole job is to keep you bound. So you have to do the mental gymnastics. You have to do the work of educating yourself so that you can be free. You can free your mind from the chains of mental slavery. So let me give you a few signs of mental slavery. Because you may say, oh, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. I don't have problems with mental slavery. Well, let me read you some signs. And I want you to evaluate yourself. And you can see if you are dealing with mental slavery. Fear of, number one, fear of taking risks or stepping out of your comfort zone is a sign of mental slavery. When you're afraid of taking risks, nobody who ever succeeded didn't take risks. Everybody who ever did any great thing in life took risk. So we gotta learn to step out of our comfort zone. You know, the man who made Ford cars. Everybody thought that he would never succeed. He would never be able to make a car. But guess what? He took the risk and he made billions of dollars. So we got to learn to step out of our comfort zone. Learn to go places that you wouldn't normally go. Why? Because you're going to take a risk. You're going to move out of your comfort zone. Because in order to obtain what you desire, you got to be willing to go for it. You got to be willing to go after it. So number one, sign of mental slavery is fear of taking risk or stepping out of your comfort zone. Number two, negative self-talk and internalized criticism. I know many of you may have heard the saying, we are our own worst critic. And a lot of times, we talk ourselves out of our own success. We talk ourselves out of our own blessing. We talk ourselves out of our own prosperity. We talk ourselves out of our own victory in life by negative self-talk. Oh, I ain't no good at that. Or child, I don't know enough to do that. Or child, you know what? I'm too old to go to college. But all this negative self-talk, or always criticizing yourself. I don't know why I'm so clumsy. I don't know why I just can't get it right. I don't know why it just seems that, bad things always is happening. I just don't understand. I'm the worst at this. I'm the worst at that. Internal criticism, negative self-talk are all it stems from mental slavery. A lot of times, we will allow people to talk to us so crazy and talk so down to us that we've internalized the negative thoughts and opinions of other people. We got to get to the place, honey, you don't like me, you don't think I'm no good, or you don't care for me, so what? Like the old folks say, water on the duck's back. We have to get to the point that we rise above circumstances and rise above the opinions of other people. You are not other people's opinion. And until you get to the point that you don't worry about other people's opinion about you, you will continue to be stagnated. You will continue to stay in a low place, low vibration, because you got your mind on them instead of having your mind on yourself and your goal. That's right. My dear friend Essence Evolve is on here. The great apostle. She says she's 70 and she still keep it moving. And I tell you one thing, I love that about her. She keeps moving. Ever since I met her, source of inspiration. So we have to learn to stop talking down on ourselves. And so the third sign of mental slavery is dependence on external validation. I made a video about that earlier today. If you haven't seen it, go and look at it. I haven't posted it on Facebook yet. I will when I get off here. But I posted the video on TikTok. We have to learn to stop depending on external validation. Stop worrying about somebody validating you, your purpose, your call, your dream, your goals. Stop worrying about how they feel about it. It's not their dream. It's not their goal. It's not their purpose. It's not their destiny. It's not their call. So they don't get a say in your purpose. They don't get a say in your dream. They don't get a say in your goals. You're the one that have to live with you. You're the only one that know you best. And I say this over and over again. Nobody knows you more than you know you. Because you, not your mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, nobody know you better than you know. Why? Because you've been with you since you've been in your mother's womb. So we got to learn. So we have to believe and know that stop depending on the validation of other people. Stop worrying about. So I was saying, I might would have, but I kind of reeled myself back in. So we have to learn. So stop seeking validation from other people. Because that's what have a lot of people hemmed up. Let me say this. A title does not validate you. A title does not validate. And I know a lot of people, especially in certain circles, titles validate them. But a title don't make nobody. Somebody can give you all the titles in the world. But the power don't lie in the title. The power lies in the individual. And you can have all the titles you want. All the prestige that you want. That it can bring you. But it's not going to do nothing if you ain't got no character. Ooh! I think it's time for me to go and get off here. All the prestige and all the titles are not going to do you no good if you ain't got no character. And most people they got a title, but they don't got a character. Don't let your title, your gift, your talent take you to places where your character has not been molded and strengthened enough to sustain you. And a lot of people have a talent. They have a gift. But they have not matured enough to withstand what comes with it. So many people want to go forth, but they don't want to go in and confront their own demons, quote unquote. They don't want to look themselves in the mirror. Now, I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just here teaching truth, teaching a different perspective, and bringing a mirror and saying, look at yourself. We all got to examine ourselves and see what is going on and holding us back from really taking that next step. What is holding me back? Ask yourself, what is holding me back from taking that next step into my purpose? That's right, Apostle Veronica. Most time we worrying about people, they ain't worried about us. They don't even have us on our mind. I remember my mother used to always say, you be worrying about somebody, honey, they ain't even thinking about you. You know, a lot of times people think somebody got something against them. They ain't even thinking about you. You're not even a thought in their mind. Because one thing about me, once I'm done with something, I'm done with it. I'm not retaining those thoughts. I'm not worrying about you. I'm focused on getting where I'm supposed to be in life. I'm trying to get focused on where I'm trying to go. Not where I've been, but where I'm going. I encourage you to focus on where you're going, not where you've been. You may have done a lot of great things and been a lot of great places. But as long as you live, there's always more. As long as you live, there's always more. All right. So stop worrying about the validation of other people. Some people say, I just wish my mother would acknowledge my success or what I've done. I wish my father would acknowledge. Honey, don't worry about it. Because you know, when a mother or father cannot acknowledge your success or how far you've come, it's because there's something in them they have not overcome in their own self. Because you are a part of them and they are a part of you. And if they cannot acknowledge your success and acknowledge your growth, they cannot acknowledge their own. So don't wait for the validation of other people. Don't wait for the validation of your friends. Because a lot of times, the people that's going to support you is not going to be the people that you know. Hello, somebody. Hello, hello, hello. Most of the time, the support that you're going to get is not from the people you know anyway. Because half the time, the people that you know are jealous of your vision and your goal. And they're not trying to help you go anywhere. So forget about that. And focus on you. Because people will have you focusing on them and helping them reach their goals, and they never turn around to help you. So you got to be careful. Got to be mindful. And the fourth sign of mental slavery is the feeling of powerlessness or feeling stuck in life circumstances. That is a sign of mental slavery. The feeling of power, when you feel that you're powerless to change your circumstance, that there's nothing you can do. When you feel that you're stuck in life circumstances and that you just can't, you're trapped and can't get out, that's because you're dealing with mental slavery. You're dealing with mental slavery. But you got to know that you have the power within you at all times to change your circumstances. Because the power is in your mouth. The power is in your words. The power is in your thought. If you go within and learn to harness your divine inherent power, you will begin to see that you're not powerless at all. You're powerful. That's why I always say at the end of any video online that you are divine, you are powerful, and you are a manifestation of the creative force itself. So I want you to take a moment and reflect. What thoughts or beliefs have made you feel stuck? And I want you to write them down for your own self. Just write them down. What thoughts or beliefs that have held you and made you feel stuck? And I want you to write them down for yourself. Because leaving mental slavery, exiting mental slavery, the first step is awareness. You got to be aware of what you're at war against. What thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. In order to tackle them, you have to be made aware of them. That's right, Ella Michelle. Whatever you give power to, it will have the power to control you. That's right, Ethan. Just let it go and move forward. A lot of times, that's all we need to do. Because there's no more left for us to do but let go and move forward. Once we begin to do that, that's how we'll begin to see our life begin to progress. So I want you to think about this. Where does these limiting beliefs come from that we have? Where it come from? A lot of times, number one, a lot of these limiting beliefs that we believe in, we hold, come from our upbringing. It's messages from our parents, teacher, or authority figures. It comes from our culture, the stereotypes, social norms, expectations. It comes from our personal experience, failures, or traumas that shaped our self-perception. There's some of the common limiting beliefs is, I'm not good enough. Success is only for certain people, not me. If I try and fail, it'll prove I'm a failure. Or I don't have the resources to succeed. But I want you to know that you were born with all that you need. Everything that you need to see the life you've been put in you. And everything that you need to accomplish your life mission will be given to you as you continue to move forward. Everything will be revealed, made known, and provided. But you just got to make a move. You got to make a decision that you want to go on this path that has been set for you. So if you wrote down earlier, like I asked, what thoughts or beliefs that have you kept and held on to that kept you stuck? Now I want you to write down where you think that limiting belief came from. And is it true? Can it be challenged? Did you get it from your parents, authority figure, society, co-workers, church? Where did you get it from? And then begin to just let it go. But you have to do this critical thinking. What it is that's holding me back, the thoughts, the beliefs, where did I get it from? And then we got to learn to begin to do the work to reprogramming ourselves. So step one to the process of reprogramming our mind. The first step is awareness. You can't change what you're not aware of. You have to identify the beliefs or patterns that no longer serve you. Find out what it is, identify and trace its origin. That's how you begin to reprogram your mind. Then you have to begin. The second step in reprogramming your mind is challenging that negative belief or thought. By using a questioning method, you can use it. Is this belief true? Where's the evidence for or against this thought or belief? And what would happen if I let this limiting belief or thought go? So you can role play with it. Sit with yourself. And you can role play with the example, the belief. And give you an example. If we have a thought that says, I'm not smart enough to succeed, then write down what evidence do you have to prove that you're not smart enough to succeed? And begin to weigh it out. This is how we reprogram our mind for success. The third step in the process of reprogramming our mind for success, we have to replace the negative belief with positive. We do that through using affirmation. We create positive, empowering statements to repeat constantly to ourselves. So not only we can change our conscious mind, but it moves it on to our subconscious mind. that has stored up everything, every belief, every thought that you ever gained in life. So I'm going to give you an example. If you have the thought, I'm not good enough, you got to replace that thought with, I am capable and deserving of success. So if you're struggling today on this live with the thought, I'm not good enough, replace that and begin to affirm to yourself every day, I am capable and I am deserving of success. I am capable and I am deserving of success. Many people want you to stop. Many people don't want you to progress. Many people don't want you to keep going. Many people want to see you fail. But you got to tell yourself, I'm capable and I am deserving of success. Point blank, period. Then you got to visualize yourself doing, being, and having the success that you want in your life. Picture yourself embodying the new belief that you are capable and deserving of success. And then you got to take action. See, things are good in theory, but you got to put it to work. Put it to action and practice. You have to reinforce the new belief with aligned actions that's consistent with what you're wanting to see take place in your life. And the fourth step in reprogramming your mind for success is consistency and practice. Nothing happens overnight. I say that all the time. So you got to be consistent. Because we've been programmed from birth. The media program us, the news program us, influencers program us. So we're being programmed even when we watch movies, not knowing we're being programmed. Programmed to go to McDonald's, Burger King, and all this other stuff. Programmed, you see on TV, they say, ooh, let's eat this big pork chop or this big rib. No, you don't eat pork. Next thing you know, some pork rib would be nice, a nice 5-piece pork chop. You've been programmed, not even knowing. So one of the steps of consistency and practice is neuroplasticity. It's how the brain rewires itself through repetition. So as you continue to affirm to yourself statements, affirmations, positive statements about what you want to see in your life, you begin to see, as you continue to say that, as you begin to do that, your mind begins to rewire itself with the new belief that you can do it. But it's through repetition. That's why old people say, practice make perfect, because it's through repetition that you get it. And another practice to help you is journaling. I always push journaling. So you can write down your thoughts, get it out. A lot of times that's all we need is an outlet. Get it out, write down, journal. Or you can do a voice note, record your thoughts, or do a video to get it out, to release it out of your system. And journaling, meditation, learning to sit with yourself in silence, learning to think, meditate, and receive intuitive messages from spirit, from within. And affirmations, saying it repeatedly. This is how we rewire our brain and reprogram our mind for success. Letting go and transforming our mind from limiting beliefs through consistent practice. Now, I want to give you a few techniques for sustaining mental freedom. Because once you're free, you got to learn how to sustain that freedom. So, using gratitude practices. Gratitude helps shift your mindset from lack to abundance. It rewires your brain to see opportunities instead of failures. So I want you to learn to write down 3 things that you're grateful for each day. Each day, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. And reflect on how those things make you feel. This will begin to shift your mindset and your mood. It will begin to shift your consciousness to gratitude. That you won't worry about what you don't have and what this, that, and the third and all the troubles, the cares of what's going on around you, but learning to be grateful. Because the frequency of gratitude begin to bring more good things to you. And also, another technique is mindfulness and meditation. Stay present. When things happen to try to knock you off your square, don't start spiraling into negative thought patterns. See, I knew it. I knew this would have happened. Don't even, Call yourself to order. Center yourself. Pause. I knew it. I knew this would have happened. Don't even, Call yourself to order. Center yourself. Pause. Take a moment. Gather yourself together. If one thing happened in your day, and if you dwell on that thing, it spoils the rest of your day. Why? Because that one thought, you begin to give your emotions, and it begin to take control over your whole day. So learn to pause and say, I'm not going to allow this incident to now spiral me out of control into thought patterns that are negative. So stay present. Refocus your mind and your thought so that you can continue to stay focused in the spirit of gratitude. So continue to do meditation and mindfulness meditation, where you focus on releasing the mental chains, releasing all of those thoughts and belief systems that no longer serve you. Let it go. The third way and technique for sustaining mental freedom is positive influences. Surround yourself with people, things, teachings, videos, and in books and environments that uplift you and that inspire and encourages you. Evaluate your inner circle. Are the people around you supportive and helping you push you to your goal and your dreams, or are they hindering your progress? Are they banking on your demise and stopping you from growing? So evaluate your inner circle and make the changes that are necessary so that you can keep your mind free. And the fourth step I want to give to you in technique for keeping and sustaining your mental freedom is goal setting and visualization. And I'm going to break it down in an acronym, SMART. This is a goal setting, SMART goals. S is for be specific. M is for measurable. A is for achievable. R is for relevant. And T is for time bound. So when you're making your goals, be specific on what goals you want to achieve. Measure out how long will it take you to achieve my goal. And make sure the goal is achievable in a certain time frame that is relevant for you right now, so you'll stay focused and have a certain time frame that you will complete your goal. This is the way to keep you focused and keep you moving towards your destiny. So as we prepare to close our session tonight, this evening, if you're able to, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine your life 1 year from now, from this moment, free from limiting beliefs. And what do you see when you envision your life a year from now? Having let go all of those limiting beliefs and thoughts that no longer serve you. Replacing the negative thought with positive ones. Affirming that you are capable and you deserve to become success. What would your world look like a year from now? What do you see? And I want you to feel that it's already true. And take that same feeling and empowerment into moving you into your future. We've talked about a lot in this live on this episode. It's been a while since I've been live, so I guess we're catching up. But we talked about mental slavery is a condition we can break from. 2, we talked about limiting belief must be identified, challenged, and replaced. And 3, consistent practice leads to lasting mental freedom from mental slavery and reprogramming your mind for success. So I want to give you this affirmation. I want you to affirm this with me today. Repeat after me. I am the architect of my mind. I release all limitations and embrace my infinite potential. I can do all things, anything that I set my mind to do. I can do, be, have all the good that I desire. Thank you, Divine Mother, Father, Creator. Thank you, God in me. Amen and Ashe. So shall it be, and so it is, and it cannot be otherwise. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me on this journey today. Those of you who will watch the replay, I will do my best between today and tomorrow to upload this episode and video to YouTube. And so thank you for joining us. If you're watching the replay, thank you for being here. Your mind is your greatest tool. Never forget that. Treat it with care and intention. And if this session has resonated with you, I want you to share it with someone else who could use this healing balm of truth, that they could benefit from it. And together, let's create a world free and empowered. A world full of empowered thinkers. And this has been Divine Discussions with your host, Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael, High Priestess and Spiritual Leader of the Soul Awakening Sanctuary, where our aim here is to expand the consciousness of the masses. And we do that through teaching universal laws and principles of truth, not tied to any specific religion, doctrine, or dogma. We are here creating a space for those that are decolonizing from religion and harmful theologies and are seeking to reconstruct their faith and their life with holistic practices and spiritual truths that can help them rebuild their life and really understand who they are and be empowered and enlightened, and to give you tools. And so we want you to give us a follow, like, and comment, share the video. And those of you who would like to give towards our work, or you just want to give and say thank you for the teaching, you can do so. The Cash App is pinned. It's $ capital VSY lowercase ISRAL 2021. We thank you for all your support and what you do to help us continue to spread this teaching of consciousness and light, so that people's eyes can be open and that people can understand who they really are and know that they are not what people say, but they are who they decide they are. And so we thank you so very much, and we love each and every one of you. We actually, if you're not following us, follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, and Instagram. We on all of that. It's just at Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael. So we thank you so much, and we love each and every one of you. And remember that you are divine, you are powerful, and you are a manifestation of the creative force itself. And never let any ideology or anybody negative opinions tell you otherwise. And until next time, peace be with you. Love you all.